Hey y'all, welcome to Sarah's Prismatic Musings. I know I haven't recorded anything in a minute, and I wasn't sure if I was going to do this in two videos or one. I have kind of a haul video, plus I want to talk about the things that have surprised me while living in Roswell, what I was just not expecting. But I think I'm going to combine the two because, there's only so much you can say about makeup, right? So we've been in Roswell for about 5 months, and there's not much shopping here, even though this is the fifth largest city. And I say city loosely because it's a town of 50,000 people, which in the United States, 50,000 people is considered a city. However, this is really just a big town, and there's stuff to do, but there's not a lot to do. And there's shopping, but there's not a lot of shopping. I used to, go to Ulta and Sephora, and there's none of that here. There's a Sally Beauty Supply and Marshall's. So Marshall's has really surprised me. So I picked up some really fun, inexpensive makeup from Marshall's, and I haven't opened it. Oh, well, I've opened this. I was trying to find reviews of this on YouTube, and there's nothing. So one is a retinol and collagen, and one is it's a CICA and hyaluronic acid. So it's Glam Fox multi serum stick, and they're like really soft. So this is more like skincare, and I got it at Marshall's for $7.99, which is awesome. So I like the packaging. It's cute, and it's just like a cream that you can't really see it. It's nice and smooth and soft. So now that my skin, they always talk about like, protect your skin and blah, 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 all this stuff. Well, I have good skin, luckily, genetic wise, but I've never taken good care of my skin. I don't wear moisturizer every day. I don't wear foundation. I don't wear anything, but I know I should start. So I picked these up. We'll see how it goes. We'll see if I actually use it. Just because you have it doesn't mean you use it. And I'm like really bad with getting up in the morning and doing things. Then I had no idea that Nicole Miller had a makeup line. So look at this packaging. This is from Marshall's for $4.99 as well. And I am obsessed with bees. So my dear friend Cindy Rhodes had gifted me a while ago a bee print and this beautiful door like bell ringer it's an art piece. It's beautiful, and they both had bees, so I am decorating my office at work with bees. So I saw this and I love the packaging, and I'm such a sucker for packaging. I have not opened this yet. In $4.99 you can't go wrong. So this packaging is going to be really difficult for me to just throw out. It's so cute. I'm literally obsessed with bees. I should have put some bee stuff on. I have my alien earrings on and my ghosty stuff. Fun clothes. I got these socks at a really fun shop in Roswell. There are some really fun shops here. I have some favorites already. I would say the name, but I always forget, so I apologize. And then Miss Daisy here has the nickname Crazy Daisy because she is the craziest cat in the world. She is always up to mischief. Yeah, she's a fun cat. She is not as chill and laid back as she appeared to be in the Humane Society. She is wild and likes to fight. She loves to fight with our dog Bella. Okay, so that packaging was a pain in the tushy to get out. And I love that it has the bee. It's gonna be hard for me to even want to use this. It's nice and soft. A really light shimmer. So this is nice. It's bronzer for very pale people like me, so it's very natural looking. The bronzer I use is, obviously bronzer for people who have a darker complexion usually. I also got these cute little nail stickers for $5.99. I'm not sure if they're gonna fit my nails, but they're so cute. I like the daisies. Hello Kitty. And then this is more makeup that I've never heard of. This is a Muse Fairy Bliss shadow palette for $4.99 from Marshall's. So yeah, for shopping we have Marshall's, we have Hobby Lobby, we have Target, Big Lots, Walmart. We have Maurice's, which is cool. There's a JCPenney's, but It's like the JCPenney's before JCPenney's became cool. It's like the JCPenney of my youth in the 80s and 90s when it was not cool. It's all like, you know, it's just not a great JCPenney's. So this color is Believe. It's really sheer. Wow, you can't even see that on me. This next one is Forest. Now this is, ooh, I like that one. The colors are really soft. Ooh, I like this Enchanted. Ooh, look at that sparkle, you guys. Woo, woo, I like that. That one's like my favorite. Wicked. That's a good color payoff. I'm gonna run out of fingers. I didn't bring my makeup remover. Oh, I like that one too. This is so creamy. Spells. It's really chalky. You can't really see it. It looks like a bruise. That's not a good color for me. I better go get my makeup wipes. I'll be right back. I got my makeup removing wipes. And I had my husband go pick me up coffee from my favorite indie coffee shop in town. It's really the only one. There's coffee shops, but the name brand, and I'm not into that coffee shop. I think they overcharge and I don't support where they put their money. So this is from Stellar Coffee, and I love Stellar Coffee. It's so fun. They do a lot of work with the community with a foster, this group that helps foster kids and families, support families with foster kids. So they hire the kids in the program, and they do events and they do community things with them. So I love Stellar. They feature artists from town, and they do like open mic nights and karaoke and trivia, and I just love Stellar Coffee. The only thing that I really miss that Roswell does not have, especially for being such a big city, is there's no bookstore. There's the Friends of the Library bookstore, and that's it. My favorite coffee shop though in New Mexico that's nearby is in Artesia, and that's Kith and Kin, and I love that place. I go there all the time. Well, not all the time, like a couple times a month on the weekends, because it is a hour round trip. But Artesia is such a cute little town. Oh, you guys, you're missing it. Daisy is messing with Bella. She's trying to go after Bella. All right, so we stopped off with that horrible color that just looked like a bruise on me, Spells. We're gonna go over here to Wonder. And of course there's glitter from the Enchanted all over the palette. Wings, which you can't see that on me, I'm too light. Lovers. I love the Lovers. Lovers and Enchanted so far are my favorite. And there was like different colors and now it's gone. Oh, Dream is okay. But I'm telling you, I love these colors and they're so soft, so pigmented. I mean, some, yeah, they're just not dark enough for me. My skin is so light that putting, you know, something that's light peach tone is going to just disappear. I think I stopped at Dreams. No, I stopped at Pixie. This is a fun color. I like Pixie. Oh yeah, look at that. Pink with like purple and green glitter. Love it. Wand. Potion. Potion's nice. I like Potion. Faye. I think I'm gonna like Faye. So yes, I love Faye. Faye is beautiful. So I like this row and this row, I think. Let's try Flowers. Flowers is really light. It's a highlighter. Let me wash my... Daisy and I fight over the spot in the window. I like to sit there and get the sun because winter in Roswell is very windy. That's something else that really surprised me. It's super windy here. And I've already had a sinus infection. When I lived in Phoenix, other than my autoimmune issues, I was like never really sick. Like it was like go, 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 go. My body never really stopped. No wonder I had an autoimmune system issue, right? Like that was kind of my complaint, was I never wanted to just relax. I always wanted to be out and about, and there was always something to do. And I'm getting all these like notifications on Instagram of all these cool new restaurants and cafes and coffee shops and art places that are opening in Phoenix. And it's like a totally different city. Now, I had kind of stopped going downtown before we left because when I first moved to Phoenix 12 years ago, you could go downtown and find parking and it was free. In the last few years, now there's meters everywhere and there's no parking and it's crowded and it's just such a hassle. So I had to remind myself, like, you had sworn off downtown. The last time I'd gone, my husband and I went to downtown. We were like just so annoyed with the parking situation. Everything's expensive, and it's like, if I still lived there, I wouldn't really have the money to be able to go to these places. So it's like, I'm not missing anything, but it's hard to remember that. It's like, we moved here because this is a more affordable city. But let me tell you something, we might as well be in Kansas because it is so windy. So sinus infections are big here. People get like sinus infections all the time. I've already had one. I still have this headache like right here. I can't get rid of it. The doctor was saying it's probably from sinuses, but I've been done with my antibiotics for like, I think it's been a full week or almost 2 weeks now, and I still have the headache. Man, it's like rough with the wind. And I didn't realize that we moved to the Bible Belt. Like, where we moved from was pretty bad, but where we moved from, it was a lot of like conspiracy theorists, people who are moving there to like get off the grid. And yeah, just, you know, people who didn't want to rely on culture. You know, they wanted to very much just be independent. And, you know, as I said, why we moved here is because I realized I didn't like that. I love people and I love being social and I love, you know, I miss working. Like, I miss being around people. So my coworkers are wonderful. They're so welcoming. They're so nice. They've literally made me cry a few times because they're so wonderful. They're so nice. And one of my coworkers and I have become pretty good friends, and I love her. And like, the people in New Mexico, especially Roswell, are so nice. But this also surprised me, guys. Like, I didn't know I was in the Bible Belt, and I looked it up, and Roswell is like, there's just a small portion of New Mexico that's part of the Bible Belt, and it just is like super conservative here, and evangelical Christian is big, 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 big. So for me, that's a little difficult. I'm enjoying, like, on my weekends, like, we go to the park and we go walk and we go do things and we go explore, but not like we did when we lived in Arizona. And there's a lot of downtime because it's cold and windy. And even if it's like nice out, if the wind's blowing at like 20 to 50 miles an hour, it's cold. So I get a lot of downtime to read. So I've already read 12 books this year, which is awesome. Like, that was another complaint. I was like, you know, I never really rested when I lived in Phoenix because I was always out and about and I was always going somewhere and always hanging out with friends and always doing a workshop and doing a class. And I really was never home. I would read maybe on average like 30 books. And last year I read, I want to say 50. This year my goal is like 55, but I've already read 12. So I'm so excited. All right, so here's Magic. I love that color. It's kind of like a light. It's going to be pretty on to like layer over other. It's kind of like a white base with like purple sprinkles, glitter. Wisdom, I like this color. It's very light. It's kind of a blush. I don't know if you can really see it or if it just looks like it's been punched. Ooh, I like that. Poison. So I would say in this, I love Forest, Fae, Enchanted, Lovers, Magic, Pixie, Nymph. So the glitters I love, and Poison is great. The other colors are just a little too pale for me. But yeah, so, you know, and there's 2 movie theaters here, and it's cool. Like, we go on Tuesdays. That's the night where it's discounted, and you can have unlimited popcorn and soda, which is awesome. I love it. But who really gets up and leaves the movie? We've only seen like a couple. We saw, I think it was called A Haunting in Venice. That was the first movie we saw when we moved here. And then we just saw Lisa Frankenstein, and it's such a throwback to Beetlejuice and 80s movies. Like, people were comparing it to Heathers. I didn't like Heathers, but the actress was great, and I like Cole Sprouse. So I really enjoyed the movie. Everyone was talking about how great the soundtrack was. For me, it was okay. The soundtrack was okay, but I loved the acting and the script and the story, and the set design was awesome. I love the colors and the costumes, and it was just so fun. And it was very like 80s and retro and just nostalgic, and it was a fun story, a fun retelling of Frankenstein. So if you guys haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend going to see Lisa Frankenstein. It's such an angsty, fun, like teen movie and a throwback. Now this is another one, Nicole, sorry, why did I say Lisa? Because I'm talking about Lisa Frankenstein. This is a Nicole Miller palette, also from Marshall's for $4.99. Like, this is like another, like, I'm just ripping it off. Another super cute, super cute packaging. Man, they know how to get us. They know how to get us consumers because, yeah, packaging, right? But $4.99, like, come on, like, that's so cool. So yeah, I wish Roswell had a bookstore. And I wish Roswell had, like, I miss the ballet. I like going to the ballet in Phoenix. And I miss the botanical garden. I love the botanical garden. And there were just great museums and stuff in Phoenix. I loved the Heard Museum in Phoenix, the botanical garden. They had the musical instrument museum in Phoenix, which was awesome. Here there's museums. There's the Roswell Museum, which is where I'm taking pottery classes. They do art classes and community events. So we got a year membership, my husband and I, to the Roswell Museum. So that's really great. We like hanging out there. We like going there. We've seen the art resident and artist give a talk. I think we went last month for that, and we saw her display. She has a background in AI, artificial intelligence. She's worked in Silicon Valley and she's an artist. So she was interesting to listen to and see her take on art and artificial intelligence and things like that, and her exhibit. And then there's Pecos Winery, and they do live jazz like every other week, and they have a great brunch. And they had a fashion show last Thursday, which wasn't really a fashion show. It was really just a stylist who gave a presentation and brought some clothes in from Hippie Gypsies. It's called Hippie Chicks. It's a little boutique in town here, and some other places that I don't know about. I haven't been to yet, but that was okay. I just didn't appreciate it being called a fashion show when there was no fashion being shown, like, on a runway, you know? It was literally a slide presentation with clothes on a rack. Anyway, I digress. So these don't have names. There's just little flowers and looks like ladybugs pressed into it, which is pretty. Let's see how these really pale colors. Okay, so that shows up. It's very nice. Very kind of like creamy. Kind of a lilac. I like that color. So I'm really, even though I've never heard of a muse before, I'm really liking that Fairy Bliss. Like, those glitters, all for it. And, so there's a lot of music here. We've gone and seen a play. There's the Roswell Little Theater. We saw a play, and we've seen like a Christmas kind of like show put on there. And they do plays, like, I think they do 4 a year. So that was cool. Excuse me. And they do like singing competitions. We went and saw a songwriter competition. They did it like 4 or 5 nights over like a month period, or a little over a month. And we only went to one night, and that was okay. But there's a lot of like great singers and musicians here. So that's good for my husband wanting to, if he gets into audio engineering, there's people who can help and talk to maybe. Or, ooh, that's brown. Okay. That's dark. Another really light color. So I'm not sure, this palette is going to be more difficult for me because everything's so light and a lot of browns, and I'm just not a brown, like, can you tell? I don't really wear brown. The only time I wear like brown makeup is if I'm doing a job interview, and hopefully I don't have to do one of those. It's really cool since at my job I have my own office. It's really great. I have a walking pad and a standing desk. So we're doing a competition this month for Heart Health Month, and it's trying to walk at least 8,000 steps a day. So I'm doing really more between 7 and like 9,000 steps a day during the week. On the weekends, like 5,000 if we go to the park or something. But that's nice. It's hard for me because I feel like, I have a state job, that there should be a separation of church and state. And there's crosses everywhere, and there's Bible verses everywhere. And I'm offended by that. And I've already had, it's uncomfortable. I've had people make racist comments about specific religions and about specific groups of people that are just not abundant here. And it's very difficult for me. People are like, oh, bring it up to HR, bring it up to HR. However, I'm the new person. I'm on probation. I could be let go at any time. And if they like deem me trouble, well, then they could just say when my year's up, like that's it. Or they could just ask me to leave. So I feel like I'm in a sticky situation. If I was an actual state employee after probation, I would definitely bring it up to HR. So I know that these people are nice people. Like I said, they're very friendly and they've made me cry with how nice they are. However, their views are very skewed towards certain religions and people. And it's difficult for me because I have no tolerance for bigotry or racism or sexism or anything like that, any isms. I'm all about being nice, but I'm not about Christian nice, which is to me very fake nice. I don't do well with fake people, fake things. I don't do well with people who are just ignorant. And I know that a lot of the people I work with, they were born and raised in Roswell and they go generations back and they haven't been exposed to other. And I have always associated more with other just from being a woman, and the fact that I've always kind of pushed back and questioned, especially Christianity and my faith. And I don't like to dress like everybody else. I like color and I like to have fun, and I don't necessarily believe the status quo is what we have to do just because we've always done it. You know, I think that things need to change. Right, Daisy? Yes, say it. She agrees with me. So yeah, it's just difficult for me. Roswell is in a blue state sandwiched between two red states, and it's great that abortion is legal here. However, there's really no access for women's health. There's no Planned Parenthood in Roswell, or the only Planned Parenthood in New Mexico is in Albuquerque. So it's like, just because something's legal in a state, is it accessible? So, you know, I always look at like, what are there for like women's health? You know, how many places can they go? Really, there's nowhere here. And that's not just for abortions. I mean, talking about like OBGYNs, you know. So even though, like I said, we're in a blue state, it's still very much like a red state because there's no access. So what's the point if there's no access? And, you know, since the department I work for, we see those statistics of how many people are coming in from Texas and other places where it's not accessible, and it's increased. But yet they're just going to Albuquerque because that's the only place. So it's interesting to me that it's illegal and this is a blue state, but it's really not. It's still very conservative. And especially in Roswell, it's a very conservative. We are in a very red town, city. The Military Institute is here. So it's very conservative. And, you know, there's no alternative religions here. It's just evangelical churches, Baptist, and Catholic. And that's about it. Like, there's no place to go meditate. There's no, you know, within a group. You can go meditate in the park, you know, and at your home or whatever, but for a group, I mean. And there's no Reiki circles, and I don't think people really know what Reiki is here. And so that surprised me. I'm used to, you know, obviously like Phoenix and Tucson, where there's options and there's different types of Christianity and there's different faiths and religions that you can choose from outside of Christianity too. So anyway, that's my rant. Where did I stop off, you guys? I don't know. I'll just go from here. That's a really pretty color. I like that one. That one too. Okay, this is the row. I like that. That is so pretty. Okay, you can kind of see that on me. Nice highlight color. Yellowy. All right. So, you know, there's the pros and cons. It's a lot windier here than I expected. It's way more conservative than I expected. Not to say that it's any more conservative or less than where the last place we lived, because like I said, the people where we lived before were all what you would label as conspiracy theorists, and we're all living there to get away if anything happened. I'm sure that where we came from was like all a buzz with AT&T networks, being out. Who knows if it affected them? I don't know. I don't have AT&T, so I don't know. But and I don't know if Arizona was one of the places, but I already did this color, but it's pretty. It's like a yellowy skin tone. But the downtown here in Roswell is super cute. I love parking my car. Look at that purple. I love that purple. And like just walking up and down and pretending to be from out of town, and the people who come visit from all over are cool. And there's the research center, the UFO research center, and I'm excited for summer. Like I keep just telling myself, just get through the winter, just get through the winter. Yeah, it's a lot colder than I anticipated, and I had to go out and buy a pair of winter boots, and luckily I didn't buy a jacket, but like it snowed twice here, one where it actually stayed. It was cool to have a snow day. I got to be delayed from work for 2 hours. I haven't had a snow day in 12 years, so that was cool. In Phoenix, we had a flood day. Like we got flooded out. I couldn't get to work. That was like maybe 5-6 years ago. I don't remember, but that was the only time in Phoenix where I didn't have to go to work because of the weather. Because when it rains in Phoenix, it just floods. Like everything floods. So windy here, very dusty. I see tumbleweeds all the time. Like tumbleweeds are a thing here. They were a thing where we moved from, but they weren't a thing in Phoenix. Just so much dust and dirt. But downtown is super cute. I love Roswell downtown and walking around and the little shops with all the alien stuff. I got these earrings at a craft fair. There's craft fairs like all the time. So that's cool. My husband's going to be trying to get his little Norman cards and his artwork for sale in the art gallery downtown. So that's exciting. And so, there's good things about living here. It's just an adjustment and things that surprise me. I really, really wish that there was a library here. Not a library. I like the library here. It's okay. It's okay. I've read 12 books. That's awesome. Like I said, like trying to read the last 2 years has been my priority. I started out 2024 listening to the audiobook by Leslie effing Jones. 5-star. Totally recommend. You totally have to listen to the Audible or the audiobook somewhere. I was listening to it for free on Spotify, but unfortunately Spotify only gives you like 15 hours or something, and I ran out of time. And then you have to wait for the next month. Then I read Everyday Grace by Marianne Williamson. That was 3 stars. I read Black Sheep by Rachel Harrison. That was another 5-star read. I love that book. It was exactly the book I needed to read. It's a sci-fi / black comedy / fantasy book, horror novel that's coming of age story for a young adolescent woman who was raised in a strict religious upbringing family, very narcissistic, and you can just see what the damage does, and how it's really about what your family and what the religion says. And I think the theme for 2024 is going to be me reading a lot of books kind of like with religion and overcoming that negative programming. Then I read Somatic Healing by Ascending Vibrations. That was a 3-star. So I'm really into the somatic yoga, and we've been going to yoga. It's really cool. Since we have a membership to the Roswell Museum, we get to go every other Sunday for free for yoga for an hour, and it's great. I love it. It actually is like really helping me. And then I read Become Your Own Aesthetic Surgeon Facial Yoga by Anya. I cannot read her last name. That was okay. Really, it didn't need to be a book. I read a graphic novel called Marbles, Mania, Depression, Michelangelo and Me by Ellen Forney. It was okay. And then I read The Stranger Upstairs by Lisa M. Martin. I did not write what I gave for it, so who knows, maybe a 3-star or 4-star, I don't know. Then I read When Live, Laugh, Love Turns into Curse, Hex, Spell, a book of curses, hexes, and spells for the Fearless Witch by Asteria Moonsilver. I DNF'd this next book, Hippie Woman Wild, a memoir of life and love on an Oregon commune by Carol Slinger. Like, it started out so good in talking about how she was in school in New York City to be an actress and the circle she hung out with, and she basically left New York City behind to go live in a commune. I don't know, it started out great, and then I just was like, why am I don't care. And then I read this is another graphic novel, My Own World by Mike Holmes. Then I read Cultish, The Language of Fanaticism by Amanda Montell. That book was a little redundant because she's a linguist and she studies languages. Now, it's interesting to hear because her father grew up in a cult, and so he grew up telling her while she was growing up, like, about his experience growing up in a cult. So it was kind of cool to hear that, how he literally snuck off the commune to go to school, to sneak into school and to go to the library so he could learn, and he's a scientist now. But her whole take is that anything can be a cult. Instagram and YouTube are full of cults, and that it comes down to language, and it's about community and creating like an us versus them. So I kind of agree and I kind of don't. I think there's more to it. She was talking about how brainwashing isn't a thing, and yet again, I don't agree with that. I think there is a psychological component outside of language that happens within cults. And obviously, yes, anything can be a cult, but I think maybe there should be other words, like maybe we need to expand our vocabulary or language to include like a cult that has to do with like you leaving everything behind and going to a commune and living off the grid in Oregon and giving up all your money and ability to make money. You know, that's a cult compared to you go to CrossFit. Because she was comparing like how a lot of workout things are like cults, and then she's talking about how multi-level marketing is like a cult. When you work for them, you know, you spend a lot of money and you don't really make anything. So it was a little redundant, but it was okay. And then I read the graphic novel Nimona. I don't know how to say it, but by N.D. Stevenson. That was cute. I like that graphic novel out of the ones I've read so far the best. And I'm reading My Roommate is a Vampire right now. Next up from the library, I have Evil Eye, and there's another book and I don't remember what it is. I checked out 6 books this month a couple weeks ago, and I've been reading a lot, which is cool. We went and saw that Lisa Frankenstein movie for Valentine's Day. Well, it was the night before Valentine's Day. Love that movie. I've been watching some great anime. I found another kind of witchy anime that was as cute as the one I watched before. I had it on my Instagram. I forgot what it was, but this one's called The Little Witch Academia. It's so cute. I actually like it better than, the one I was watching before got me into anime was The Little Witch. No, Elena the Wandering Witch. I think it's called The Wandering Witch. And now I'm watching The Little Witch Academia because I had to get Netflix because Crossroads was finally going to be on a streaming service and it was going to be on Netflix. So I got Netflix just for the month so I could watch that, because even though I'm a Britney fan, I'd never watched that movie. You know, it just came out at the wrong time of my life. You know, I was in college and I liked Britney, but I didn't go to the movies in college. The movies was not a priority in college. So I got to watch it and I enjoyed watching Crossroads. And Britney is a great actress, and it was fun to see her and watch her when she was happy and young and everything was exciting and new for her. It's interesting that the movie came out and there's a scene where her and her friends in the movie are singing to NSYNC, Bye Bye Bye, and Britney and Justin had literally broken up the month before the movie came out. So I don't know, that's rough. But anyway, so anime and movies and books and makeup, I can't complain. Oh, and my hairdresser is fun. I like how she did my hair. I was trying to go natural, you guys. I was trying to let all what I had done grow out, but I don't know if I can let my hair just go white. I don't think I'm ready. Like, I don't know. Like, I have too much fun with my hair to just let it go natural. Like, we'll see though. We'll see. And I've been like obsessed with cutting it short so I can wear dangly earrings and I don't have to wear my hair pulled back. So I don't know. So were you guys surprised by anything of my surprises of what it's like to live in Roswell, New Mexico? Let me know in the comments down below. And I don't know when I'll see you guys again because, you know, I'm just filming whenever I have something to say or something to share or whatever. But I hope everyone's good. Bye, y'all.